Before we get into this video, I just want to have a disclaimer in the beginning that there will be spoilers for the Arc TV series. So if you haven't watched it yet, I would recommend watching it, getting your own opinion on it, and then coming back to the video and listening to what I have to say about it. So I hope you guys do enjoy, and let's get right into the video. Hello everybody, Michael here from Nim Reacts, and welcome to another video. So today we are talking about something that I care about very, very deeply. We're talking about Arc and the way that it's going right now. So the Arc animated TV series just dropped the other day. I watched it, and let's just say it was not great. There was a lot of things wrong with it. There was a lot of issues I had with it, and it has nothing to do with the show itself. If the show was like completely standalone, it would be fine. Like it'd be a decent show, you know. First of all, the animation, the voice acting, great. Some of the lines were a little odd, the way that they worded them, but other than that, like the show, the production itself was great. I liked it. I enjoyed it. I thought it was great. The thing I had the issue with is how far they strayed from the game's storyline. Now, if you didn't know already, Arc has a kind of built-in storyline into the games where you find explorer notes and you kind of read them and figure out the story of what happened before you got there as the survivor, or the one who tries again, or I think is what the official word of what you're called or whatever. Anyways, they changed not much, but just enough to where I'm like, where are they gonna go with this, you know? Because at the last episode, they revealed the trailer for part 2 of the series, which will be, I believe, 7 episodes instead of 6, like the first season was. And it shows them going to Scorched Earth at some point. So they're kind of sticking with the plot itself. But what they did with the characters, specifically Rockwell, I think is what I have the most issue with. Rockwell in the games is supposed to be this great scientist who wants to know all these different things, but he's ethical at first, and he slowly develops into like the mad scientist that's I'll do anything to learn science or whatever, and then he becomes the big bad of the series, basically. Out the gate, like episode 1, he's already with the bad guy, has no interaction with Helena that is good. Helena and them were supposed to be like really good, like scientific friends at first, and then later on he would kind of do that, but that wasn't even she was supposed to be his friend until like the end of Aberration, where Aberration is where he actually becomes like evil. Like he does some evil things that, like in Scorched Earth and on the island, but nothing to the scale of what he does in just the first episode of this new series. And that's probably the biggest issue I have with it. Nerva is really good. His character, his voice actor, it's done perfectly. It's done exactly the way it should have been. It doesn't really have the conflict between the different tribes that were mentioned in the game, like I think the Black Sharks or something like that. They're not mentioned at all. Instead, there's a new tribe which are called the Rangers, I believe is the one that they go to, but which introduces a few other characters, and I'm completely fine with that. I'm completely fine with them ditching that storyline. It was kind of just like feeble politics that didn't really matter too much. But when it came to like the actual story of the show, it really just kind of immediately kicks off with him being the bad guy and Helena trying to survive, whereas before it was, oh, I'm a survivor, but I'm a biologist as well, so I'm gonna study all these things. She doesn't even write in her dossier about creatures. She only like writes down certain things about what's happening, which is kind of annoying. And one of the biggest things that annoyed me, they got rid of the entire storyline with Megan and her pack. It kind of mentions it. It kind of shows like her at some point fighting Nerva and mentioning like what he did to her pack, but it does it all off screen. Like nothing is seen from it, which it's kind of that thing where show not tell when you're making a series. which is kind of annoying. Another issue I had with the show itself is where are they going from now? Because they just beat Nerva. Spoiler alert. They beat Nerva. They beat the Broodmother in episode 2 or 3. I can't remember. Like 2 or 3. And they also got rid of like more than half of the artifacts from the show or from the games, which now it's just 3 artifacts. It's just red, blue, and green, and each of them activate the obelisk. And there's supposed to be 8 or 9 artifacts. 9 artifacts, 3 for each obelisk. Which it just downscales the scope of what the game was supposed to be. And like Helena and Mei-Yin being a badass, of course, which is natural, but they're able to take on the Broodmother by themselves. Like, just those 2. Which just downplays the entire part of it. If you've watched my series on the Ark Survival, the very old one, the 3 Idiots playing Ark, you'll know that the Broodmother is not easy to beat. I mean, it takes breeding, it takes a lot to even beat the main bosses of the Ark, and they beat the Broodmother with 2 people and a spear, basically. So, I mean, it not even like a pike, like a spear, just a regular old spear. It just kind of blows my mind how much that they're changing from the game story. I don't mind that they are going with a different way with it. I'm completely fine with that. But changing it this much leads for so little character development down the line, besides, oh, I changed my ways, now I'm a good guy, and then becoming the actual bad guy for Rockwell. And Helena learning how to survive or whatever. And it just kind of takes away from... This is the Ark we're talking about. Like, it's supposed to be challenging. The show does put a lot of challenges in the way of the main characters, but I feel like the dossiers and the explorer notes from the game explore it way better. There was a series developed by Nutty the Noodle. His link will be in the description down below. It looks like he's already made a video on it. But he made a really good Ark Stories video, and where it's all in-game stuff explaining the stories of the arcs and everything, and it was done so well that I honestly thought that the makers of the show were just gonna basically do what he did and follow all of the dossiers around and like figure it out like that. But they didn't do that at all. They completely just ripped the story a new one, basically. And it's not good. Like, again, it's a good show. I don't mind the show. The show's fine. It does show a lot of aspects of Ark in the way that I like it to. You know, the Ark is a big thing on this channel, and I like it to be represented in that way. But did they need to change so much from the games? No, they did not. Honestly, they didn't. The show is a good show. I would watch it if you like Ark. If you don't like Ark, it's still a good show to watch. But at the end of the day, it's one of those things where it's, if you know the story of the games, you're gonna prefer the story of the games. Like, it's almost no competition with it. So I hope you guys did enjoy this video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe if you did. If you want to see more reaction stuff to the Ark content coming out, let me know, and I'll be sure to get it out there. Thank you guys so much for the support on the channel, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.